just a recap. So this is Naginata at home again with Aspire Dojo. And because we have so many beginners joining us at the moment, we are focusing on them. So this is the third class, just based on beginners. So the first week we did mainly etiquette and how to hit men. And then the second week we did sune and a little bit of defense. We did uchikaishi last week. And now what we are going to do is a bit of repeating what we have gone through for the last 2 weeks, plus we are trying to defend all of the strikes we've already learned so that we can finish by at least knowing the whole defense for uchikaishi, which is the exercise that we did last week. Right, so first things first, let's just do reho. So from standing position here, I'm gonna put that a bit lower so people can actually see later. Okay, so c'est ça. Mokso. Mokso yame. Hey. Okay, let's start with a quick warm-up. So first things first, hips, one direction. And the other direction. Okay, sideways. Okay, knees, one direction. And the other side. Okay, I'm going to put one leg in front of the other, feet parallel. Put both your feet on the floor. Try to stretch the back leg. I'm actually going to admit 2 people. Sorry about that. Please continue. Okay. And the other way around. Okay. More sideways. And the other way around. Right, all the way down. And change sides. Okay, in the center. Okay, one leg. And the other side. Okay, arms going back. And forward. And just the elbows. And the other side. Okay, wrists. Okay, let's stretch one shoulder. And the other shoulder. And one hand on the top to stretch it down. And the other way. Okay, let's rotate the head a little bit, slowly, both sides. Good, stretch on one side. You can push down with the other hand if it's helping to stretch. And the other side. Okay, thank you very much. All right, so today I'm gonna do a couple of things. First of all, we're gonna repeat here, I have on my little list, we're gonna repeat a little bit what we did with the footwork. Then we are gonna repeat how to do a proper Aso Kamai and Chudan Kamai, because those are the basics. I'm gonna do one more thing that we didn't do last time, which was doing, well, I'm gonna call it sections, but Suburi, which is basically swing the Naginata. We're gonna do two of them, which are the ones that include Chudan and Aso, so we can build on that. Then we are going to review the strides that we did last time and review all the defenses that we did last time and add the ones that we didn't do. Okay. Based on that, we're going to do Uchikaishi, which is the same exercise we did last time with combination of men and sune. And then we're going to do the defense of that. Okay. So that's the program for today. So let's start with things that are the easiest first, which is walking. It's not as easy as it's. I'm going to show you just the feet because this is all that is important for this phase. So from Shizentai, whether you have a Naginata or not doesn't matter. You will just take Chudan no Kamai. So one foot forward, that's the small finger forward, okay, not the whole leg. And the other one, I'm going to say about 90 degrees, but can be a bit more, a bit less, doesn't really matter, as long as you open from here rather than twisting your knee. Okay, so don't twist the knee to go forward, just open the legs. Don't put the heels on the floor again, so just slightly off the floor. So if you see, my feet are just, this part of my foot is on the floor on both feet, and the rest is not, okay? So, right, so from Shizentai, take Shudan, both feet are moving forward. So if I show you that from the side, 1, 2, okay? That's Shudan. So from Shudan, I'm gonna move forward and backwards, so that's my forward and Ato backwards. So if I want to move forward, I push on the back leg forward. If I want to move backwards, I push on the front leg backwards, okay? And I quickly recuperate the other foot. Okay, let's do that. My, Ato, my. Try to always stay sideways, so not halfway forward. Just try always both your shoulder on one line. Okay, my, Ato. Okay, I'm gonna just add one more thing because I think that's quite important. I'm never actually raising my feet. I'm exaggerating now. You don't step, you just slide, okay? Just push on the back foot, slide. Both feet stay on the floor. There is no lifting. Same thing backwards. Okay, whatever we do in Naginata, we don't raise the feet, we just slide them. Okay, so now we're going to do a sideway movement. So that's Irakiyashi. If I say midi, we go to the right. If I say idari, we go to the left. So if I go to the right, I'm pushing on my left foot, so my right foot starts. If I'm going to the left, I'm pushing on my right foot, so my left foot starts. So basically, you are starting with the foot that is on the same side as you're going. So, migi, idari, idari, migi, migi, idari. Okay. Now for the next one, Sugiyashi, I'm going to just repeat quickly. So my front foot stays where it is, the back foot bumps into the other one, okay? And then it replaces it. So it's like a little skip, either forward or backwards, okay? You don't want to do any extra movements, so no moving before you go or no moving before you go. Only this, okay? Okay, let's do it. So Tsugiyashi Mai, Tsugiyashi Ato, Tsugiyashi Mai, Tsugiyashi Mai, Tsugiyashi Ato, Tsugiyashi Ato, Tsugiyashi Mai. Okay, that went well. Let's continue with the next one. So for the next one, I'm going to do Ayumiyashi. So that's crossing the feet. So I'm going to show you that from the side because it's easier. So if I'm just standing, small step, again, I'm not putting all my foot on the floor, just the front. And then I'm pressing, so big step, small step, big step. And now I'm against the wall, so I couldn't do a big step. But, so if I start a bit further, so small, large, recuperate, okay? If I go forward, I cross in the front. If I go backwards, I cross in the back. So if I go forward, here I'm crossing in the front of the other leg. Okay? If I'm going to the back, I'm crossing at the back of the other leg. Okay? Right. So let's do that. Ayumiyashi Mai. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ayumiyashi Yato. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, Ayumiyashi Mai. Small, large, recuperate. Ayumiyashi Yato. Small, large, recuperate. If you feel that you are doing too much wobbling with the hips and you are not able to stay sideways, there are 2 reasons for that. Number 1, you're making too large of a step, so the hips are rotating. Number 2, you're putting your foot down completely and then basically your hip comes with it, okay? So those are the 2 reasons why you might have some kind of a wobble here. So if you want to stay sideways, make sure the first step is small and then you don't put your heel on the floor here, you just stay with the front bit, okay? And back. Okay, let's do that the other side. So to change sides, I'm going to take a step backwards, called Machikai, and forward again. Okay, so you want to move both feet. If I'm showing you that from the front, both feet are going back, both feet are going forward. Okay, so from the right foot forward, Mai, Ato, Mai, Migi ni irake, Idari ni irake, Migi ni irake, Idari ni irake, Sugiyashi Mai, Sugiyashi Yato, Sugiyashi Yato, Sugiyashi Mai, Sugiyashi Yato, Ayumiyashi Mai, Ayumiyashi Yato, Mochikai Te, Perare. Okay, right, second part. We're gonna do a little bit of repeating the kamae we did last time. So I'm gonna take my broomstick. If you have a naginata, it is good, take it. If you don't have a stick, it is fine, just do it with your hands. It doesn't matter, okay? It's not that important. As long as you try to have the hands in the right position. I'm gonna try as well for some things to explain. I have my blade here. It's not attached to any naginata, as you can see. So I'm gonna try to explain some of the things with the blade because it's, well, obviously I don't have a naginata. Besides, it wouldn't fit my flat. So yeah, let's try that. So first things first, Chudan. So for Chudan, what you do is you start with the naginata on the floor next to you. Sorry, I can see that now People cannot see my face, so that's not very good. I'm going to do like that. Okay. So basically, it is right next to you, vertical. Your hand is with this part of your wrist on the hip bone. That's the right hand. And the other one, fingers closed next to you. From here, I'm going to take the Naginata on top of the other hand. The lower hand is going to slide down the Naginata, but I'm doing one step forward. Okay? So, like this. Shoulder weights in terms of the distance between your hands, one elbow distance between the back hand and the end of the Naginata, and both hands are slightly forward so that your back hand is in the hip joint. Okay, so the joint between your leg and your body. Okay, right. In terms of how you are holding it, again, you don't want to hold it like this. You want to hold it in a way that is slightly in the length, so that basically your Naginata is in the diagonal of your hand and you just close the hand. Both hands are like that. So it makes some kind of a V shape when you look at it from the top. Okay, so that's for Chudan. Now to pass to Aso, I'm gonna shoot that from the side because it's easier and maybe not under the lamp. So my back hand is gonna slide into the other one. I'm going to change here in the center, okay, in the center of my body. And my back hand is going inside of the other one. The other one passes on top and slides until it's on the hip bone. I'm going to admit someone who just comes. Okay, yeah, there you go. So one more time, so you have the one elbow distance. Put your hand within the other one, change in the center of your body, and lower until it's again on the hip bone, and the other one more or less the heel level. So if you're like this, it's too much. You can see your shoulder is stressed. If you're like this, it's too bad because you cannot do anything because you need to be with your elbow up, but up enough that your shoulder is not up, okay? Shoulder down, but like this, okay? So that's so you don't want it to be behind your head because then you need to go around. And you don't want to have it slightly next to your head, okay? So you can just do this track. Okay, let's do that a couple of times. I'm gonna go in another place because I have a lamp here. Okay, Chuda no Kamae. Aso no Kamae. Chuda ni Kamae. Aso no Kamae. Okay, so just something that you need to be aware of when you're in Aso, you still have one elbow distance here because you swapped your hands in the same place as they were before, okay? So, one more person joining, sorry about that. I had one elbow distance here. It means that when I swap my hands, and now I'm down, so I cannot really swap it in the middle. So because I'm putting them in the same place, when I finish, I still have one elbow distance here, okay? So that didn't change. Okay, let's give it a go. So Aso, Chudan, Aso, Chudan, Aso. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, for people who have an Naginata, I'm going to explain something because I think that's important. You can see there's the blade, just the blade. So I'm just going to put that down for a sec. And you can see, so there is one part that is cutting and one part that is basically the other side of the knife. You want the cutting bit to be facing forward in the Aso position, okay? So if you have an Naginata, you have to see how you put your hands so that your blade is actually facing forward. So a lot of people always have like their blades one direction or the other. How to fix that? It depends on how you put your hands. So you don't want your hands to be straight here. It needs to be like kind of, I'm gonna say like a broken wrist, okay? Like something like this. So in this case, my lower hand needs to be kind of broken wrist. And the other one is simply behind, so if that's forward for me, my upper hand is just holding it from behind, so it can just continue with the same direction. If you have a blade, just check the blade to see if it's forward, yeah? If you don't have a blade, you will just have to trust me on this. So basically, just make sure that your lower hand is a little bit like, I'm gonna say broken wrist. Okay, so not this, but this. Yeah. Okay, so shoot that again. Let's do it the other side. So, Ochikaite. Okay, one more time. So always go backwards first and then forward, not the opposite. Because when you go forward, you are putting yourself closer to your partner and you're vulnerable. So you don't want that. You always want to go back. Change your hands in the center. Again, the back hand is going inside of the other one. And then forward here. Okay, and again, the Naginata pointing directly in your center. Or in the center of your partner if you have one, but in this case, we are all alone, so just your center, okay? Okay, let's try a couple of times Aso and Chudan. So Aso, make sure you're on your hip bone here, that your wrist is a little bit broken, that your level in the backhand is more or less your heel level. Yeah, good. And back to Chudan. And Aso, Chudan. Okay, Mochikaite. Okay. So, what I'm going to do from here, before we do anything else, is we are going to do the suburi. And suburi is like just cutting through something. It's not a target in itself, it's just a cut. Okay? There are a few different cuts, and if you look it up, you can see that. So it's a bit like cutting a pie. So the first cut, first cut is vertical, so that's jogi-buri. The next cut is diagonal, that's naname-buri. The next one is horizontal, yoko-buri. And it goes from down to up, naname-buri shakara. And then the last one again is again a vertical one, and that's furikaishi. Okay? Those are the cuts that exist in Naginata. Okay, so what we are going to do is we're going to do the two first ones, so the vertical one and the diagonal one, because you already know both Chudan and Aso, and so basically you already have the basics to do these two. So how do we do the first one? I'm going to show that from the side, but you don't have to go sideways. So from Chudan, I'm going to do a bit like this. So from Chudan, what you want is from your back leg to go next to the other one, and your back hand to push up. Okay, I'm going to show you the feet first, and then I'm going to show you the top. Okay, and then both hands go down. Well, I'm saying down, but I mean down and forward, and cut until your back hand is outside of your body. Your front leg is straight, and the other one is bent. Okay, I'm going to show you that again a bit higher so you can see the top bit now, but of course it's the same movement. So push up, don't overstretch here, you want to have your hands closed, don't overstretch. Then both hands go down and forward and cut. Okay, so usual mistakes. Yeah, I would say usual mistakes are either people leaning forward or backwards this direction, or leaning forward or backwards this direction, or people crossing the feet. Okay, so those are the main problems. So leaning or crossing the feet. So what we want is by the end we are still centered, the hips below the shoulders. So no leaning. Okay, neither like this, neither like that. And no crossing the feet, okay? So your feet are maximum on the same line and ideally a little bit out, okay? Okay, let's try to do that. Let's say we do 10 times one side and then we'll take it from there. So just slowly up. Make sure you're facing forward, do not overstretch. And down. One. Okay. Up. Down. Up. Down. If you can see yourself in the camera, I don't know if you can, but try to see if you are all the way straight, you're still on the same line here, and still on the same line here, in the middle of your body, rather than doing this. I'm exaggerating now, of course nobody does that. Straight and straight. Yeah, okay, that's getting better, guys. Up, make it straight, and profile, and straight, now facing forward, yes, okay. And down, and profile, okay, up, and down. Okay, let's take a normal rhythm. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay, that's going well. So I'm going to explain you the next one now. So for the next one, we're going to take asso and do a diagonal cut, okay? So what we want to do is from here, take asso. I'm going to stand here so I'm not too close to the lamp. So take a good asso, make sure your asso is correct in the first place. And then we're going to cut forward, okay? What you want to cut is more or less the center of your body. So I'm going to show you first the feet. So again, you're in Chudan position with your feet. You're going forward. So both feet are together. And as you cut, once you finish cutting, you're going backwards. Okay? I'm going to get rid of that in a moment because it's too big for the space. So again, from asso, forward, both feet together. Once you cut, go backwards, okay? So that's for the feet. I'm going to show you now the hands. Okay, so from asso, on the first step, I'm going to put my backhand in the center. So it moves from my hip to the center of my body, and the other one just follows. So it's kind of, I'm going to say almost stretched out, but not really stretched. It's just there, okay? And then I'm going to slide this down so that it can actually cut, and the hand, this hand, is going to move back to behind my hip. So first step middle, second step it moves behind the hip. So I'm a bit too close from here, again. So first step in the center, second behind the hip. Okay, 1, 2. Asso, 1, 2. Asso, 1, 2. I'm going to make that a bit shorter because I'm almost hitting things. Okay, 1, 2. Asso, 1, 2. Asso, 1, 2. Asso, 1, 2. Asso, 1, 2. Okay, keep going. I'm just going to have a look at what people are doing. So, okay, kind of a few different things. So, first thing, you want your asso to be correct. So you don't want to start here already. Start with the asso on the hip here and next to your ear. Just take your time to take a good asso. Then from here, once you are here, make sure you go and like cast it far away. So far. What you don't want to do, is going down, like a small movement. You want to go like catch something far, okay? Second problem that I'm looking at is people trying to go too much to the side. So basically they are kind of cutting the grass here. So from here, you want to just go directly to the target, which is somewhere in front of you, your own middle body height, okay? So fix a point on the wall that you are targeting and go directly to that, okay? Not going down, just straight forward, okay? 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. And far away, not down, so far. Stretch. Stretch. Yeah, it's getting better, guys. Yeah. Stretch forward. It's okay to this hand can be forward. It's all right. Yeah, getting better. Don't forget to put your asso on the hip. I know I don't have the right distance, but I don't have space. So from here, 1, 2. 1, 2. Yeah, not too bad. 1, 2. Okay, don't forget that you are not cutting somebody's head and you're not cutting somebody's feet. Try to focus on a point in front of you that is in the middle of your body, more or less, so that you don't cut too high or too low. So more or less the middle of your body, fix a point on the wall that you can focus on, and try to cut. So basically, once you are about here, when you're cutting, the cutting height is the middle of your body. If you see on the camera, I don't know if you can, I'm gonna put that in bigger for people who look later. So basically, once you're cutting, so my feet are both straight forward at the moment, so my body is facing forward. At the moment where I'm cutting at the height of my belly button and then going backwards, okay? So do not, so basically if on the camera, by the time you're cutting, you are cutting your head off, it's too much, it's too high. If you're cutting your feet off, it's too low, okay? So at the moment where you're cutting your height, okay, again. 1, 2. Again. 1, check. 1, 2. Okay. Yeah. Let's have a look. Yes. Okay, that's getting better. Okay, just one more thing before we move on to the next exercise. I can see some people are kind of finishing like this or like this because they are doing some kind of round movement, okay? You don't want any round movement in Naginata ever. You always want to go straight. So what needs to happen with the feet, I'm just gonna show you that. You want to go straight from here, straight in one line forward and straight in one line backwards. What you don't want to do is rotations, okay? There is no rotation. From here, straight forward, straight backwards, straight forward, straight backwards, okay? Let's try a couple more times with the Naginata all together. So, asso, forwards, cut, backwards. Asso, forward, cut, backwards. Asso, forward, cut, backwards. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Yeah, it's getting better, guys. Okay, so we're not gonna magically fix everything in one day, so I guess we can leave it to that for the moment. So I think at least you have something to practice and enough pointers to do it on your own later. I'm gonna repeat the strikes that we did before. So that's men, sokumen, Sune and Furiagete Sune. So let's start with men, quickly recap. So to do men, what you want to do is with your back hand, you are pushing up. Again, you are not overstretching here, so keep it folded. You're making a very small step, that's enough, and then both hands go down and forward, and men. I'm going to show you that from the side again. So, small step, then press on the front foot, both hands go down and forward, the front hand can slide up, and then the hand is in the middle of my body. If I had a normal legs naginata, I would have one elbow distance between the back, but because I'm having a short stick, it doesn't work out. But if you have a normal naginata and you can use it in your house, make sure you keep the right distance here, okay? I just don't have space for that, unfortunately. Okay, so let's try one more time. So first step, small, I'm facing forward. Second step, I'm going down and forward, both hands. Front hand is sliding up. And move both feet forward. Okay, Chudan, Sugiya Shiato. And again, 1, 2, Chudan, Sugiya Shiato. Okay, 1, 2, Chudan, Sugiya Shiato. 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 Okay, continue so I can have a look at what people are doing. Yeah. Okay, not bad at all. I think that's fine. Let's just continue with the same thing with Sune. So we're gonna do Sune now. I'm gonna just recap quickly. So to do a big Sune, what we want is, again, press with the back hand, go all the way up. And now, this hand here, the one that is now in the front, you want it to stay in the center line, okay? Again, this one goes forward and down, making a circle, right? The other one, once you get about this height, you want it to go slightly by the side so that you don't pass through your opponent to do Sune. Okay, so that's why, if you look at the hands, 1, 2. So the front hand went a bit deviated while the other one didn't, okay? If I show you that from the side now, so first step, you make a small step, then both hands go down and forward. The front, this one stays where it is in the center, the other one goes slightly to the side, and Sune. Okay? Your front leg is a little bit bent, and the other one is a little, I'm going to say a little stretched because you don't want to overstretch it. You just want to be stretched but not making any strength in it. In terms of where the hands are finishing, you want your backhand to be in the center here, but just higher than what it was when it was the man. From when it was here, okay? For Sune it's here, and you want it to touch your elbow, okay? When you want to know the right distance or the right height, it's as low as you can that it's still touching your arm, okay? If I'm going lower, it's not touching my arm, it's too low. I'm going higher, my shoulder is a bit stressed out, we don't want that. So as low as you can, as long as this is in the center and it's touching your elbow here, okay? The other one, you don't want it to be too close. You want to keep as much distance as you can so that it's still in the right position. But you don't want to hold it with this hand. And why? Because to go down, I need to eventually slide a little bit. And if I'm holding it with this hand, I cannot slide, okay? So let's recap. First step, up, small step. Push on the front foot. Both hands go down and sune. Okay, check your front leg is a bit bent, back leg stretched out. Check the position, check that your front hand is also out a little. Okay, Chidan Subyashato. Okay, for people who have a Naginata, I'm going to take my blade again. Because you come a little bit from the side, I'm going to drop this for a sec. You want your blade to be in that kind of halfway position here. So kind of diagonal, I'm going to say 45-degree-ish to the side when it finishes. That's because you come to the side, okay? So if you cut like this, you cut with the part of the knife that has no blade, it's not going to cut, okay? If you cut like this, well, again, you're not coming horizontal, so it's not possible to cut like that. So you need to have your blade in the same position as your strike is coming. Okay, so in this case, because we come from the side, it's going to be a little bit sideways. Yeah. Okay, so if you have a Naginata, just check the direction of the blade once you go down. Okay, let's try a couple of times. First step. Okay, second step. Snap. Chidan, Subyashato. 1, 2. Chidan, Subyashato. Don't forget to make 2 steps, guys. So when I say 2 steps, the first one, there is no problem. Here you want to now move both feet forward, okay? Both feet need to move, not only one step. Okay, one more time. Up, and snap. Okay, Chidan, Subyashato. 1, 2. Check your blade if you have one. Chidan, Subyashato. Up, down. Chidan, Subyashato. Again, here don't go down with your front. When I say down, I don't mean down like. Okay, I'm going to show you that from the side. So bad example would be to go down like this, straight down. You want to go forward first. Okay, always forward, not directly down. Yeah, otherwise you won't reach the target. One more time. 1, 2. Yeah, okay, better. 1, 2. Yes. Okay, that went well. Let's recap the Sokumen now. So to do Sokumen, we go to Aso and we strike men. Same thing as for before, because we come from the side. If you look at your blade, it should be about 45 degrees-ish when it reaches the target. And the target for this is here, okay? Men cut, the first one we did, the target was here, okay? Center line, here. Top of the head, center line. Now the new target, because we come from the side, it's a bit here. Okay, so it's about 15 degrees out of what it was before. What you don't want is to come from the side and hit the here. That's dangerous, okay? So you want to go directly straight to the target, and the target's here. Or the other side, depends on what side you are, of course, right? Okay, let's have a go. So I'm gonna recap. So from Aso, you just want to press on the front foot and men. I'm going to show you that first the feet and then the hands, because again, I'm having a bit of a lack of space. So first the feet. So I'm in Chidan, so basically front little toe to the front. Heels not exactly in the same line, just this one a little bit more out. And the heels are up. So from here, I'm going to press on the front foot, and basically you're going to do a straight line here with the back foot, straight, and recuperate, okay? I'm going to show you that from the side, so from here, straight, recuperate. Okay, so both feet are moving. Okay, one more time. So from here, straight, and recuperate. I don't have more space that side, so otherwise I would do a bigger step. But, anyways, so let's do the hands now. So from Aso, your hip is, your hand is on your hip, a little bit broken wrist here, so you can see if you had a blade, it would be forward. Don't forget to be in the right height. And then you just go forward, okay? And then your hand is ending in the center line, and as low as you can, that it's still touching your elbow. And as soon as you go higher, you can see your shoulders beginning to stress. You don't want that. Okay, and the other one can just slide up and down. It doesn't really matter. So you cannot hold it with this hand so that you can slide it. Yeah. I'm going to show you that from the other side. So if I show you that sideways, I mean Aso. That's Menkat. Okay. And again, if you had a blade, it would be a little bit sideways on the target. Okay. So if you have one, just check your blade. One thing that is a common mistake, I'm going to try to show you on my knees here. So from here, you want to go straight forward to the target, okay? What you don't want to happen is your elbow passing in the front to do something else. So no twisting, just straight forward, as if you were going to point, okay? You were going to point to the target. Okay, let's give it a go. So Aso and men. Don't forget to move both feet and back. Aso, men. Okay, Chudan, Sugyashato. Aso, men. Chudan, Sugyashato. Aso, men. Chudan, Sugyashato. Okay, guys, look at the feet for a sec. So, what you don't want is just changing profile, okay? What you would want is once you change profile, that you push enough so that both feet are now moving forward. Want a big step forward, okay? If you have an outdoor space, I can see some people are outside at the moment, it would be useful for you to build a dummy, like just sticking with a bit of rubber or something, or a soft ball, whatever you can find, and try the distance, because you can see that if you are not doing this, you will never reach the target, it's too far. Okay, so if you put a 4 meter distance and you try to reach the target, you'll see if you don't move both feet, you will never reach there, okay? So, one more time, make sure you move both feet forward. So, Aso, men. Okay. Try to make the step as big as you can. When I say as big as you can, I mean you need to push more on the front foot, so push. Okay, yes, that's better, guys. Again, Aso, press. Good. Again, Aso, and press. Okay, good. Now let's do the same with the Sune. So now, we're going to do Sune. So again, you want to finish in the same position as we were before, okay? Same with the other one. But now we start from Aso, and then you just want to go for Sune here, okay? As low as you can, that your shoulder is low and your naginata is touching your elbow. One more time. Okay, Aso, Sune. Okay, check your blade if it's a little bit sideways. And then Chudan, Tsuya, Sheto. Aso, if you have a naginata, check that your blade is forward. And Sune, check that your blade is sideways. Okay, Chudan, Tsuya, Sheto. Aso. Okay, Sune. Chudan, Tsuya, Sheto. Okay, that's going well. So now we are going to recap the few defenses we did last time. So first one, we are going to defend men. There are two ways to defend men. We are going to do the one that we did before. So to defend men cuts, I'm going to show you that from the side, it's easier. I'm going to go backwards. Actually, I'm going to make this a little bit longer, otherwise it's not right. Right. So I'm going to go backwards and I'm going to make it shorter. So the back hand is pulling while I'm going back, and then the front hand is pushing while I'm recuperating the other foot. And I'm saying I'm going back, I mean I'm pushing on the front foot, okay? Push on the front foot while you pull. What you want to have, so from here, what you want to have is your backhand finishing where it was before. So more or less in the joint between the leg and the body. And the other hand, far enough that you can hold the leg here but not smash it. Okay? So that's how far you want to be. If you're like this, it's too close. If you're like this, it's too far. Okay? So about here, I would say if you don't have a naginata, you cannot check at what height you are. So I would say more or less shoulder height. But if you have a naginata, this part here, you see where there is a little line. So basically, if you depend on the naginata you have, but you can see that's where it starts curving here, yeah? That bit here, it needs to be your head height, okay? So you can double check if you have a real naginata that it is your head height. Okay, let's try a couple of times. So 1, 2, and backwards. 1, 2, and back. 1, 2, and backwards. Just one more thing. If you are defending, I'm going to show you now from the front. If you are defending, you want it to be close to your body. You don't want it to be away, okay? Close enough to your body that it's actually stable and not in front of you. You want parallel to your body so that it's slightly outside. So if the naginata is coming here, you want it to kind of deviate it, to kind of absorb it to the sides a little bit so that it doesn't cut your head in case it's too long, okay? So slightly out. One more time. So 1, 2, okay, now we're going to do the same with Sune. So I'm going to show you that again from the side because it's easier. So it's the same principle. You want to make it shorter, but then you want to go down. So I'm pulling with the backhand at the same time as my back leg is going back. But when I say my back leg goes back, really, I'm pushing on the front leg, right? 1, 2. So where you want it is, again, don't crush the egg and don't let it go. And in terms of the height, I'm going to say more or less shoulder height, a little bit higher because it's physically not possible. But you don't want to be like pulling, okay? Just relax, relax. Okay? So 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, good. If you have a naginata, again, make sure that the blade is facing up, okay? So the cutting bit is facing up. Okay, now next one. I think those we did last time already. We did one last time that was for Sokumen. So some people would say, well, you know, you could just do the same thing. Why can you not just do the same thing? It's because if I do Sokumen, so if I receive Sokumen, it will arrive this side rather than this side. So the big man was arriving this side, so I'm this side, right? Some people will say, oh, well, you could just go there and then defend Sokumen. Why not? Because when it hits me, it's coming out of my hand here, okay? when I was defending the big man before, if it's hitting, it's coming inside my hands. There is no way it's coming out. So you always want to defend in a way that it's going in your hand and not out of your hand, ideally. Of course, if you're in a fight, well, whatever goes, goes, right? But if you can, in this case, we don't want this side. So we're going to just change side. I'm going to show you that from the front first. So I'm going to start this way because it's easier. So from here, I'm just going to rotate and go back. I'm going to show you that from the front now. So from here, I make it shorter like before and rotate. So basically now I'm like completely protecting my body and go back. And you can see now the Naginata is a little bit outside of my body, this direction. And if someone hits me this direction, it's going in my hand. Okay? Also, you don't want to do this because you're opening your cutter, so don't do that, just keep it down. Again, you want to keep the egg but not smash it. So if you are like this, you're too close. If you're like this, you're too far. Okay, keep the egg, don't smash it. Again, one more time. So I make it shorter and change profile. Okay, one more time. Make it shorter and change profile. Good. Okay, now we're gonna do the same with Sune. So I make it shorter and then I change profile, but I defend Sune now. Okay. I'm gonna show you that from this side for a sec. I'm gonna show you that from this side. So I make it shorter and defend the Sune here. You can see my backhand is more or less in the center of my body here. Yeah, so that's where you want your backhand to be. And the other one, again, don't smash the egg, don't drop it. Okay, so from here, 1, 2. Okay, yeah. Don't forget you're defending Sune, so you're defending your legs here, yeah? If you have an Naginata at home, and it is the right length, because of course if it's this, it's not gonna work. What you can do to check that you are actually going the right amount for both men and Sune is to put something on the floor, like a paper or something. Say I'm gonna defend men, my head is on top of the paper, and when I finish, my blade needs to be on top of the paper, okay? Same thing with Sune. If I'm gonna defend the Sune, my Sune is on top of the paper now, and when I finish defending, sorry, no, it's glued to my foot. Not what I wanted to do. So my Sune is the same distance from the paper. If I do Sune, you can see that now the Naginata is exactly where the Sune was, okay? That's what you want. When you have a Naginata that is the right length, you can double check yourself if you are actually going enough backwards or if you're going too much backwards. Just check what's your distance, okay? Just put something on the floor as a reference point or stand on the lines of your floor and check that you are actually going the right distance. Okay, so now we're gonna do Uchikaishi a couple of times, and then we're going to do the defense of that. Okay, so to recap, I'm going to make that shorter again, otherwise it's not going to go for me. There you go. So, big man, 1, 2, assault, Sokmen, assault, Sokmen. Yeah, oh, sorry. Before we do anything, I don't have space to go forward all the way. If you can do forward all the way, just go forward all the way. If you cannot, just change on the spot. So look at the feet, just forward, backwards, forward, backwards. If you can go forward, just do that, okay? If you cannot go forward all the way, just go forward, backwards like me, just because, well, lack of space, okay? Okay, one more time. So big man, assault, men, asso, men, asso, sune, asso, sune, chudan, sugesheto, big men, and chudan, sugesheto. Okay, one more time. Big men, asso, men, asso, men, asso, sune, asso, sune, chudan, sugesheto, big men. Okay. Okay. So because we are focusing on the defense now, we're just going to do the defense of that. So it's going to be the combination of all the things we did before. So let's do it together. Again, if you can go backwards all the way, just do that. If you cannot, it's okay, just go on the spot. Okay, so first we're defending the first man. Defense of man. Make sure it's a little bit outside of your body. You can, that you're not dropping the head and you're not smashing it. Now, if you can go backwards, just turn and then, okay, that's the first man, then turn and then. I'm going to go a bit forward because I don't have more space. Just adjust your distance when you can. And then turn and sune. Yeah. Turn and the other sune. Okay. Push the other one back so that it does Tsugi Ashiato. And now defend big man. Okay, good. One more time. Let's start again in the front. Okay, big man. Make sure that if you have a blade, it's the height of your head, that you're not smashing the egg. You're well sideways, okay? So the other side, bam. Good. The other side. Third man. I'm gonna go a bit forward because I don't have space, but if you can, just go backwards. Okay, and now sune, and the other sune, push him back, either Tsugi Ashiato, and men. There are two versions for the last man. Some people defend like this if you don't have much space. If you do have much more space, some people defend like this, if I'm showing you that from the front. So, like this. So basically you put your feet together backwards. You go back, put your feet together, and basically you defend the last man about a fist above your head without changing your hands. Your hands stay like they are initially. So there are two variations for that. Usually the last man is defended like that. If you don't have much space like here, you just defend like the first one, it's fine as well. Okay, let's do one more time, then we'll finish on that. So, big man, asso man, asso man, asso sune, asso sune, push him back, and big man, depending on the space you've got. Yeah. Just one more thing before we go. I can see some people when they are changing at the moment. So instead of going in front of them and just going straight up, what they do is they do this. Okay, so they go sideways. The problem is when you do that, by the time you are here, all is open. Okay, people can hit you anywhere. So you want to be as protected as you can, as long as you can. And same thing goes for Sune. I can see that mainly for Sune. So she defends one Sune like here, that's fine. And then the next one, you want to protect yourself enough that you don't open the whole body by the time you're doing the Sune, okay? Okay, let's do that one more time and try to go as much vertical as we can. One more time, okay? Then make sure it's a bit outside the body, yeah. and vertical men, and vertical men, and vertical sonnet, and vertical sonnet, pushing back, and men. Okay, yes, very good. So, nore, nore. Okay, let's drop our Naginata. Okay. And, okay, she's in tight. Says up. Mokso. Mokso yame. Hey. Arigatou gozaimashita. Thank you very much, guys, for today. Good practice. If you have any question, now is a good time. If you want to unmute yourself and ask anything that is unclear or you want any explanation on. Yeah, go ahead.
When you're holding the Naginata in also, do you want your upper hand to be away from your head or sort of more behind it?
No. You want it to be a bit away. So in terms of the height, it's about ear height, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at it from the side, you see if my wrist is on my body here, mm-hmm. You'll see that it's going to be a little bit out of my body here. You're not okay. Completely flat. I mean, nobody's flat. So it should be a little bit out. You don't want to do this, of course, because if I do that, it means that downstairs here, it is not protecting my body. Okay, here it's in front of my leg. Okay? So you don't want to go too much out, but also you want to be able to directly strike and not go around your head from here, and you need to go around your head. So it's too long. So from here straight. You'll see that if it's in front of your leg here, usually it's right on the top is fine.
Okay, thank you.
One thing that I would suggest for the people who are lucky enough to have a garden and might be able to build themselves a dummy would be to try it with the right distance and try to hit the target. Or if you have a partner, don't hit the partner, what I meant, but try to reach above their head or above their leg so that you can check if you are actually doing the footwork correctly. I know that we are all at home now, so maybe it's not working that well in terms of changing, checking the height and checking the distance. But if you are lucky enough to be able to do that, put a line on the floor where it's 4 meters away from your dummy and try to see if you're overdoing it or not. I think that might be useful. And also checking, if you have a real naginata, checking the hasuji, so checking the direction of your blade, because this is one of the most common mistakes we've got. Right, any other question? No? Then perfect. It's most likely that it's going to be me again next week. Sorry about that. So I'm going to continue with this and trying to go to first and second kata. We cannot do much where there is no bogo practice, so obviously it's hard to do any Shia exercise. I'm going to try to take you to the first kata, which for the first and the second one, they are taking the same techniques basically than these. And if we have more time, I'm going to introduce another cut, depending on how much time we've got to do that. Yeah? Right, well, that's all for this week then. See you all next week. And stay safe, everyone. So no crazy lockdown, no crazy lockdown exits and things like that. Don't get sick. If you have any questions in the meantime, just drop me a message, or other people in the group. I know most of the people here are in our club Facebook chat. So just drop us an email and someone will pick it up. Yeah. Okay, that's about it. Bye, guys. See you all next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.